This episode of the MMA Complex podcast is brought to you by HollowRockGear.com.
Go to HollowRockGear.com, register at the site, and use the promo code COMPLEX15 to get 15% off your order. It is some of the best sports apparel money can buy. Again, go to HollowRockGear.com.
Welcome to another edition of the MMA Complex. My name is James.
My name is Josh.
We're coming off UFC Fight Night, Cyborg versus Landsberg. That took place in Brasilia, Brazil. Josh and I are going to recap the action from that night's card. And on today's show, we have Ilima-Lei MacFarlane, Bellator flyweight, on the show today talking about her potential upcoming fight and much more. So we'll get to that interview shortly. But first, Josh, another week, another episode. How things going for you, man? Oh, it was also your birthday this past week, so
Yeah.
talk to us about that and what you did for your birthday, man.
I went to Dodger game. I went to the Dodger game Thursday night, and then which was pretty cool. Let's go. Stan Lee threw out the first pitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was awesome.
I was supposed to go out of work. Damn it, man.
You know who? I know James has got a new work schedule that's like
Sucks.
it's all over the place, man. Your whole day's gone. Yeah, but
This I have to go to work to 10 o'clock.
yeah. There was that. Stanley was there, and it was Tommy Lasorda's birthday also. So,
Man.
they had like that whole thing. They did the whole happy birthday to Tommy Lasorda. They gave out this pin. We went out. We got tickets because where we got tickets at were in the outfield. You know, like where they hit the home runs and all that stuff. I'm a casual baseball fan. But in that section, on one side, they have all you can eat. So we had all you can eat.
Oh, that section.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all you can eat Dodger dogs and nachos, right?
Yeah, nachos, they have popcorn, and they have peanuts and sodas.
And I missed it.
All you can eat.
Was that the pin, right? It had
It had his
Vince
number.
Scully?
No, it had it was a Tommy Lasorda pin.
Oh, okay.
I think because it was his birthday, so it was a Tommy Lasorda. Vince Scully was the next day, I think.
Yeah, it was his retirement, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, that whole weekend was all about him. Did that, and then the next day went to San Diego for the day.
Ooh, San Diego.
I love San Diego. We do a big go to Rio Delgado. It's a Brazilian place down there. It's one of the best. I mean, and I know Fogo de Chao is popular in LA, but Rio Delgado is like the small. It's like it's traditional Brazilian. It's awesome, man. It's the best, man. So we go there, and then we hit up a club basement. It's one of my favorite spots, and then that's it. Next day, head out down to Coronado, which is crazy because Coronado's like it's just right on the other side of the water.
Yeah.
We go over the bridge over there, and it's just rich houses, a bunch of people, man. It's like a little island, and it's a peninsula that goes. It's a peninsula that goes all the way down, kind of connects to the mainland again.
Yeah.
It's nice, man. It's like it's a really nice place. Coronado, the beach, the hotel there. We went there. It's such an awesome place. It's my first time there in a long time, I think.
Okay.
So, and then that was it. Sunday, kind of just chilled out all day. Didn't do anything. And then, got the fights over the weekend. So that was pretty much it.
Sweet, man. Speaking of San Diego, we are drinking Ballast Point, which is a brewery in San Diego. We're having the mango IPA. So here's
I think it's all festive, too.
Yeah. Here's our drinks for today. That's a San Diego can and brewery in San Diego, too.
Yeah, every now and then we actually no, pretty much all the time we have some type of beer in there, but this every now and then we mention which one we have. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the fights, Cyborg made her return to the UFC. At another catchweight at 140 as she fought Landsberg, a fight that was pretty much dominated by one Chris Cyborg. I fought back for Landsberg. She was taking some nasty body kicks, and she pretty much got demolished. But I think the bigger story coming after that fight is, should Chris Cyborg continue to fight at these catchweight fights when obviously she has a hard time losing that weight.
Yeah.
Her debut fight in the UFC, she had a hard time. This time around, with 8 weeks, she had a hard time cutting, I think, 25 pounds. Do you think that Chris Cyborg should just continue to fight these crazy catchweight fights, or do you think that Christian Harburg should put her foot down and say, look, unless you guys are going to give me a 145 fight, then I'm not going to fight no more for you guys.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much power she actually does have, to be able to put her foot down. Because maybe she doesn't really realize how much power she has. Because they could always send her back down to Invicta and forget about her,
That's true.
Yeah, because she's not a big draw. I'm not sure what the numbers are for this fight.
Yeah.
And then with her first debut in the UFC, they did a whole documentary showing her time leading up to that fight. And I think the one part that really stands out to people, I don't even know if it's released yet, is her weight cut. Because they released a video of that, and she's crying. She's pretty much like in pain. It's really hard for her to cut down to 140. We met her in person. Yeah. She's a big girl in terms of like muscular wise. She's super in shape. She's not incredibly tall. But yeah, I mean, they need to it doesn't make sense to have her at 140. If you're not fighting Rousey or Misha or Holly, and if it's not one of those girls, those big names at 135, there's no point. Just give her 145 pound division. Invicta has it, and she does very well at Invicta. Do the same at UFC. Maybe it's partially Invicta doesn't want them to make one because there goes their biggest draw. Right. I don't know. I think they should.
No, I agree. I think 145. Or like we saw earlier this year with Valerie fighting at a catch weight at 125 against Calderwood. Yeah. And that was a one and done fight for 125. They can do the same thing, not have a division, but just have fights at 145. Because there's no point of her, cutting on that weight, especially nowadays when we've seen in the past people get, badly hurt from cutting on that weight or in one championship when that one fighter died of the weight cut. Yeah. She's up there in age. She's a veteran of the sport, and I think it's a dangerous thing for her to continue to cut that weight. So I think they should just either book it for at 145, because 5 pound difference isn't much. I mean, why make her cut down to 140 when she can just fight at 145?
Yeah, when 145 is her limit. I mean, I don't think anybody was really tuning in into that card for the rest of the card because...
there was no names. Yeah.
You got the Roy Nelson and Silva, but aside from that...
It wasn't happening
that fight. even that, Cyborg is a draw. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, at least with hardcores, people are going to watch her. MMA fans are going to watch. I'm not sure how much it translates to casuals, but because a lot of her success back in the day with Gina Carano was because of Gina Carano. Her success and her fame outside of the octagon was because of Rousey this time around. On her own, I think with MMA fans, she's a draw for sure because everybody's tuning in to go see Cyborg. Cyborg's fighting, you're pretty much you're gonna try to catch it if you can. Yeah, well, we've seen
Cyborg compete in person, and we've seen the kind of draw she brings in. She has a lot of fans, and
she sells out those Invicta shows.
Yeah, and I think she's one of those girls, and I'm going to use some pro wrestling terminology here, but she's like a superstar fighting jobbers. People kind of just tune in to see her destroy her opponent. And that's and the UFC should book her like that because
she's the real female Mike Tyson. Yeah, I think they were calling Rousey that, but I think she's the real female.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not just that, but I mean. I think she's 16-1, and her one loss was her first pro fight that she lost. Yeah, and her one no contest was because she tested positive for a steroid. Yeah. So she's her record's there, and I think they should just book her at 145. I think that she's a draw. And she's one of those girls that can bring in people's interest because people want to see her destroy it, and I think that she's the best women's mixed martial artists right now overall.
I have a feeling this will be the last time we see her outside of a super fighting at 140. I don't think they're going to do it again.
Because you're right. I mean, again, this is Miesha Tate, Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey, then she shouldn't be fighting that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. So. Yeah. But, on that same card, Roy Nelson knocking out Antonio Bigfoot Silva. And, a fight that both you and I kind of predicted wasn't happening. But I think the story coming out of that fight was, after the fight, Roy Nelson kicked referee John McCarthy out of frustration, and he pretty much said that he felt like the fight was already over, and him and Bigfoot are friends, and he didn't want to inflict more damage than he had to. Do you think that this whole thing with Roy Nelson kicking Antonio was blown out of proportion?
I think it was. I mean, the stoppage wasn't that bad. It was.
No.
It was. If you thought he was out, like I told you, I was like, if you thought he was out, then just stop punching.
Yeah. Yeah. Simple as that.
And if Antonio can't get back up, then he can't get back up. Or even if he's wobbled, I'm sure you're gonna have another chance to hit him again. Because Antonio's just not the same guy without his TRT exemption. He's just not. I mean.
Yeah, he needs to retire.
He looked better this time around.
He did.
I think it's coming. I think physically, he's coming around.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also in Brazil, so who knows? But
that's true. Yeah.
But he's coming around. His body's, I think, recuperating. But I think, there's an obvious double standard. We've always known that. If this was anybody else, Dana would have got rid of him. I'm not sure if Dana hasn't really spoken up because maybe he doesn't have the same power that he used to because of the new owners.
Yeah.
So if this was like a couple months ago, then Roy would have probably been either let go or fined in some way.
I didn't think about that. You're right.
And then Dana hasn't said a peep, and he's let go of guys who have just nudged like
or
a
push,
ref in the middle of like just being like knocked out or whatever. Like remember Jason High?
Yeah.
Like Jason High was getting beat down. Yeah. I think the ref stopped it, and Jason High like in the middle of like getting beat up, like kind of like pushed the ref back and be like, "Hey, I'm still okay." And then Dana let him go because of that. And Roy goes back and kicks Big John McCarthy. I mean, insane,
blatant kick.
You can't do that. You can't.
I wonder if that fight happened in the States with the Nevada State Commissioner to the California Nevada State Commissioner, if he would have got fined.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they're in Brazil.
I don't think Brazil's gonna care.
There's not really a real commission out there that gives a fuck. But yeah, I think things would be different here in the United States. I think that no matter what your reason is, I mean, the referee shouldn't be touched at all.
Not at all.
That he overdid. He over empowered his placement there. But the thing is that his justification for it or his reasons for it doesn't make any sense at all.
He was like, oh, he was my friend. I didn't want to keep doing that to him. I'm the type that I'm used to knocking guys out, so I know when they're out.
It just seems like he has a beef with McCarthy. I think it happened before. I think he mentioned it too. Afterwards, that him and McCarthy don't see eye to eye. But
you can't do that to Big John. You can't, man.
Especially Big John.
Yeah.
I mean, to any referee.
Any ref.
Yeah. I mean, there should be some kind of punishment for that, but I don't see it coming because it was.
It's not going to come from the commission.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't even know if Dana has that kind of power anymore. So it was probably a freebie for Roy.
But that fight didn't make any. I mean, didn't do much for any of those guys.
No.
I mean, I think Roy Nelson needed that win as much as Bigfoot did.
Yeah.
It doesn't put Roy Nelson higher. I think that the UFC won't do anything because he's a name.
Yeah.
And the heavyweight division is kind of thin.
So I can see them letting go of Bigfoot though, or they could keep him because he's a name, and they just want some guys to fight him to build a name off of.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel uncomfortable watching McCarthy Bigfoot Silva compete.
Yeah.
It's like because
he knows what's going to happen. He doesn't have he's not the same guy anymore.
But you're right. He did look better in this fight. His body seemed like he was in shape, and he lasted longer than I expected him to last.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see him compete anymore. Roy Nelson, I don't think he can crack the top 10. If he can, I think he's ranked number 11. I don't think he can beat any guys in the top 10 or the top 5.
No.
So we'll see what happens.
Not at this state of his career.
No. So we'll see what happens with that. But great fight. I mean, great co-main and main event.
Yeah.
Let's get to our first guest, or our only guest. She's a Bellator flyweight. She'll be competing soon. And here's our interview with one Ilima-Lei MacFarlane.
Ilima-Lei MacFarlane, Bellator flyweight. How are you doing today? Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I know it's been a while. We've been trying to get together, but yeah, I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I don't care. I'm not gonna go through any Bellator guys. So sorry if you guys are watching this. Like, I'm doing this on my own, but yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine with it.
Yeah. The guys are cool at Bellator. They're fun.
Yeah. We don't want to get you in trouble or anything.
Yeah, we don't want to get you in trouble.
I'm wearing my Bellator shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So today was your first day of camp, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So talk to us about that, and talk to us about your opponent that you'll be facing and when.
Well, it's totally not even official in the least bit yet. So I'm like I can't even tell you guys like when it would be. But basically what's happening is I'm doing my camp with Liz.
Yeah.
I'm doing her camp with her. And she fights November 15th, I think. 17th.
UFC 205, yeah.
Yeah. Out at Madison Square Garden. She's fighting Caitlin Chukagian. So we were just like, okay, let's just do our camps together. It doesn't matter. So it might be around that time.
So they kind of gave you like some word that we have an opponent for you, but nothing's set. You haven't signed anything.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if my opponent knows.
Oh, okay. So is that
this is just like text messages and so my coaches are like, all right, well let's just start your camp then and do it with Liz.
Okay.
I know last time we spoke, you wanted to fight with Anastasia. Do you know why that fight didn't go through? Or
honestly, well, we have our theories, and I think they want to build it up a little bit more and build her record up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I feel like we kind of are like one of the two of the more well-known fighters for the division. So I feel like it's a little too early to put us against each other. That's just our theory, but who knows? I don't know. I know she didn't want to fight, or she didn't really address the question after her fight.
Yeah.
It's understandable. Like, she literally just freaking fought. You know, she's probably not thinking about the future. So and I understood where she was coming from. That was a really close fight. Like, I would want to rematch myself if I felt like I didn't win. So. Yeah, but I'm just being patient. I trust what Bellator, what all Rich them and Scott them all have in mind. So, like, I totally trust them.
Yeah, and you were during that her fight. They showed you watching her fight, right? They cut to you. Is it surprising that they've been kind of building this up a little bit? I think, did she call you out, or they asked her about whether she would want to fight you? Was it?
Well, I initially called her out.
Yeah.
After my last fight, when they asked who I wanted next, and I was like, well, I want Anastasia. Like, she's popular, she's hot. Like, why wouldn't I want to fight her? Yeah. Why wouldn't I make out with her afterwards? Whatever.
That's nice.
And it's funny if you know me, because everyone who knows me is like, yeah, that's totally Lima. But like people who don't know my humor and everything, they're like, what?
You might get taken aback by it.
But yeah, so they had asked me to make a fight prediction video so that they can post on social media. And I originally made one holding a Four Loko, and it's like, maybe don't put any alcohol. And I was like, okay. So then I made one in the cryotherapy chamber.
Yeah.
So that's what they showed, my fight prediction.
Did you drink a Four Loko, or was there anything inside the Four Loko?
There was alcohol in the Four Loko. But it was, I believe I did that video on a Friday. Oh, I had work later that day.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, I could totally pound this, or I'll just use it as a prop. I have to go to work later, so I'm just... Now,
the Four Loko is super strong as far as alcohol content. Like, does it come down pretty bad? Because then they're known to give you headaches after you drink one.
Yeah, I used to. That was my drink back in my broke college days. Because, I mean, it costs like $2.50 or whatever.
Yeah.
I was all about that.
I'll say that we well, at least I did drink one not that long ago, and I paid for it like after a while. After the come down's pretty bad.
It's sugar and alcohol. It's like, oh
yeah.
Disgusting. So is there any heat between you and Anastasia? Because it seems like you guys, both. I mean, both want to fight each other, and then the fact that Bellator showed you during her fight, is there any heat, or is this the matter that you just want to fight her because she's a name?
Yeah. No, like I don't have any animosity towards her, but it's funny because when she finally did respond to my call out, then like when I read the transcribed interview and everything,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's so mean about it. But then when I actually saw the interview, I was like, oh, she's actually really nice about it, but it's just she has kind of broken English, so it just makes her sound on paper.
Sweet.
Yeah, like on the video, it's like, oh, she's so nice. She's just like, oh, I don't know, like, you know. So I was like, after I saw the actual interview with Ariel, I'm like, oh, she's a sweetheart. Like, I still love her. Yeah, so, I don't have any blood with her.
Oh, okay.
So Bellator, they approached you with at least being ready for a fight soon. Do you have any idea when that might be? Because I know they have one in October. They have one in like November, December.
Yeah.
Like when would you want to fight?
So there's actually like a bunch of cards coming up, and you know I haven't fought. My last fight was June 24th, and I literally like was back in the gym the next day basically. So I've been staying ready this whole time. And so I saw the October card that's in Memphis, and I was like, okay, that one would be cool because Kendall Grove is headlining that one.
Yeah.
And he's a local boy from Mali, so I was like, okay, that would be super sick to be on that card.
Yeah.
So it's AJ Matthews, who like is my man crush, and so I wanted to see AJ at the So I was like, okay, that would be really fun to fight over there. And then obviously the November card, which is up in San Jose. That's the one Benson and Michael Chandler are headlining. And that would be sick because it's in San Jose, so I would have fans there. My family would fly in for that one. And I love Benson, Michael, them, so that would be cool. And then there's another card up in Italy in December.
Ooh.
So like we were kind of hoping that, okay, maybe they will give me Anastasia and maybe it'll be in Italy perhaps.
Yeah.
We don't. So those were kind of like the three cards that I had my eyes on. And then even the one in Israel, I think that's in November as well. So, I mean, I would want to go to a foreign country, even though it's like Israel.
Yeah.
So,
I'm pretty crazy.
eyes on.
Yeah.
So, like, what's your plan for this year and next, as far as how many fights you want to fight, and also how far do you think you are from that title shot?
Well, I have one fight left on my contract, and then we'll see if they decide to re-sign me or not. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna give me a title shot for this fight on my contract. So yeah, I think I'm probably only gonna fight one more time before the year's up, and then they'll figure out what they're gonna do as far as.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance they will resign you, but are you looking to maybe put your name out there, see who might want to pick you up, or are you content with Bellator? Huh?
No, I'm really happy with Bellator.
Yeah.
So I don't have any intention of like going out or like dropping 115 or whatever. Like I don't. I'm really happy with Bellator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider fighting 135 if the possibility that they do fight elsewhere? Would you want to fight at 135?
No. No. Well, I'm really tiny. I actually think that I would be able to make 115. Like I walk at 35, so.
Oh, okay. It would be a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think it's at bantamweight.
Okay.
So yeah, probably not.
Last question about Anastasia. What did you think about her last fight?
Well, so it kind of panned out how I thought it was going to be. Like I knew Vita was a scrapper, and she was just going to come out there and brawl out and everything. Yeah. So I kind of expected that, I guess. I guess I was a little frustrated too, though, watching it because I'm like, take her down, like. Why aren't you guys like changing levels? You know, like both girls would just come forward like flying, and I'm like, all I need to do is drop levels and shoot in and take her down. But I mean, from a grappler's perspective, it was annoying kind of to watch because, But no, I was Like I felt it totally was super close. It could have gone either way. Like the more I watch it, the more I'm like, okay, maybe. But I don't think my fight IQ is very high. Like I really don't think so at all. So I'm like, I can't really give educated opinions on fights, to be honest, because my fight IQ is like down here.
And if you're fighting her, like, how would you fight her? Like,
if I fought Anastasia?
Yeah.
Take her down.
Or take her down, right? Yeah. Because you wrestled in high school, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people knew that either until this last fight, I think. Mm-hmm. Like, we tried to keep that a secret for a long time. But like I think my ground game is I haven't seen Anastasia's ground game. So yeah, I think I would definitely take her down.
Yeah. And how do you I know you're very content with Bellator. I mean, I think they've built you up pretty well, and I think your name is getting put out there a lot more in this past year. How do you feel about the way they've brought you through the ranks and the way they promoted you? I think they've done a pretty good job, I think.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so happy with them. It's because it's not about like, trying to go to a bigger show or, so it's about Bellator. They're the ones that believed in me. And like, I had that one soccer mom fight. That was literally like the only professional fight I had. And then Bellator still was like, well, we believe in you. We want to sign you. Let's do it. And then on top of that, like after my first 2 fights with them, then they trusted me, or they had faith in me to be on the main card of like pretty much the biggest production that they've ever done against a 6-1 fighter who is a beast and who like I was the underdog going into that fight. And everyone that I talked to, they're like, Ilima, you can do this. Like we totally have faith in you. We trust you. We believe in you. So it's like, it's just, they're the ones again who believed in me. So yeah, that's why I love being with them. And I always think of Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman, he was the football player that joined the military, went to war and everything. Because he said the same thing about Arizona when he got offered a bigger contract for another team. He's like, it's not about the money. It's about like they're the ones that believed in me. So like I'm going to stay with them. So that's kind of how I feel about Bellator.
Pat Tillman, the veteran that got killed out in Afghanistan, right? That Pat Tillman,
Pat Tillman, so I liken it to that, to him. But did I answer your question? I kind of think of it like straight. Oh, well, and I think that they did a really good job of building me up. Yeah, like not throwing me to the wolves, immediately. And I think a lot of that had to do also with my team and my coaches. Yeah. Like they would never put me in a position that they didn't think I would be able to handle. So they helped guide my career as well. And there were some times when they had called for me to be a last minute fill-in, and I was all down. I was like, yeah, let me do this. And my coaches are like, Ilima, like you just went through a terrible breakup. Like you're being crazy right now. And I'm like, I need to find.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was my coaches that they've also had a really huge hand in my success so far.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I know Bellator is affiliated with Viacom, obviously, and Bellator known to have their fighters, set out to the entertainment world. Have you done any commercials, movies, or TV shows for Bellator?
I did a Fight Tips YouTube with Shane Faison. He's awesome. And so I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but he's actually the kind of like the face of the Dave & Buster's commercials for Bellator. Yeah, and he used to have the dreads, but now he shaved his head, and he's like a super sick fighter. He does Muay Thai mainly. But yeah, I did one of his Fight Tips videos, and I guess I was like the first jiu-jitsu video he did, so that was kind of cool because normally he does like striking stuff.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I did that for Bellator. Otherwise, I think that's it. Oh, I've done like stuff. John, he runs the social media pages, and so I've done like Facebook Live stuff, just fight prediction stuff like that on like Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that.
Yeah. Cool. And you come from a big family. You have like six. There's 6 of you in your family, right? And they're all pretty athletic. Was anybody else interested in fighting other than you?
No.
Yeah. How did that come about?
Well, I guess you could say, so my older brother, he is like 20 years older than me, and he had we actually were talking about this the other day because someone else had asked me that, like, how did you get into wrestling and everything? Because all of my sisters, we all played basketball and volleyball. And so I said, okay, I think it's because of my brother, because he came home from the army right when I was born. So he had a lot to do with raising me. And he was like Mr. Wild Man, Mountain Man. I tell everyone he's like the Hawaiian Ted Nugent. And he was actually, he was kind of like, he wasn't like a practitioner or anything, but he just knew about like MMA, jiu-jitsu and everything. And so I remember him telling me about like what jiu-jitsu was when I was little, and he was the first one who actually taught me an armbar. And so I guess I was like a little tomboy growing up. I was always with my brother, and so I think that's why I was like a little more rough around the edges. Mm-hmm. That's how I got into combat sports, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? That there's 6 of you guys and you're not Latina. That's crazy.
Hawaiians have big families, right? Yeah.
Just ethnic families have
ethnic families have big families. Yeah. Yeah.
So for all the
we're used to it though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
For all the guys that watch our show, they're happy because you're single. So are you still single now, or what's the status of
still very single, super single. I just went to a wedding.
Not bitter, but just single, right?
Huh?
Not bitter, just single.
No, I'm not bitter at all. Why would I be bitter? No, like everyone asked me at the wedding. Where's your date? I'm like, it's like this drink in my hand. Was I supposed to bring a date? Sorry. Like, yeah, I'm single.
You just came back from a wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
On the week. That was my cousin. So it was fun. And that was actually her husband is Latino. So yeah, there's tons of Mexicans everywhere. It was fun. Good fun.
That's awesome.
Was there lots of bum 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 bum?
Yeah.
Oh,
totally.
Open bar. Where was this at? Where was it at?
It was up in Vista.
Okay.
In one of his auntie's backyards.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, it's been great speaking to you. Thank you for coming on the show. Finally.
Thanks, guys.
Glad to have you on. Yeah.
Do it whenever you guys want.
Yeah, of course. Well, once everything becomes official, maybe, or even after your fight or something, we'll talk to you then too.
Yeah. We'll always see you anyway.
Hopefully, we'll even see you at one of the cards.
Yeah.
Are you guys see you?
Well, I think we might go to the Bellator.
To the Bellator in San Jose. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think it's closest to us. So.
That'd be cool for you, man. Because I think Chel's gonna fight Tito on that card. There's rumors.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the eyeballs on that card. So it'd be cool for you. Be on that card. And then we can all party afterwards, man.
Yeah, that's true.
So how about if I don't get on that card though, then I'll just go up.
You can just go to that card.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Just go. We can hang out, get wasted.
Yeah.
And then pay for our sins the next day.
Yeah.
But hopefully my fight isn't close to that date.
That's true. Don't want to mess up her camp. Yeah.
I stopped drinking 3 weeks out.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Like most people don't drink at all during their camp, but I'm like, I need a little bit, like, just to keep my sanity, you know. So 3 weeks is the magic number.
So it'll be 3 weeks before the fight you stop?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Well, I don't like rage super hard. But,
yeah.
Here's a fun fact for everybody. We first met you at Invicta, and you shared your 30-pack with us. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's always beer around here.
Yeah.
And you met my boyfriend at the time.
That motherfucker.
Who I'm totally not bitter about at all. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see you at one of the cards, and it's always great talking to you.
Oh, before we go, just
social media.
Yeah, let the fans know who they can find on social media, and also plug so many sponsors you want.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So I'll do a shout out to my sponsors first. Aloha Aina Company and Healthy Mama San Diego. They're my food sponsors. Keep me fueled throughout the week. My body maintenance sponsors is Massage Stretch Perform with Mark and San Diego Cryotherapy. They're awesome. And to my team and my gym, San Diego Combat Academy, my jiu-jitsu school, 10 Planet San Diego. And then our competition team is Team Hurricane Awesome. You guys are the best. And you guys can follow me on social media. My Instagram is Ilima-Lei So IlimaLei. And then my Facebook fan page and my Twitter is Ilima-Nader, my nickname. So yeah.
You're the first fighter who memorized all the sponsors. Like usually people have a list next to them.
Yeah.
You got to read off. So
yeah, you did pretty good.
You know what? Four Locos to sponsor you. Four Locos, you guys are watching this.
Four Locos.
Sponsor her.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to get. Well, I am trying to get an alcohol sponsor, but like Blackheart Rum because they're for Bellator. They're like alcohol for Bellator.
Yeah.
And I know they sponsor Phil Davis, and I'm just like, hello.
There you go. Hopefully they catch us. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll try Four Loco too. I think that would be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty sweet.
When you come down to San Jose, you're not fighting. We'll drink some Four Locos.
Oh yeah.
And, have some fun.
Yeah.
Totally got you guys.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. We'll see you soon.
Hey, thanks, Joshua. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Later. Bye.
So that was Ilima MacFarlane from Bellator. Great for having her on the show. She's a great friend of ours. We look forward to seeing her in the cage soon. Look forward to her being on one of the cards coming up. And I mean, hopefully it's that San Jose card. We'll be there. But like she said, we're probably going to see her there anyway. So
looking forward to getting drunk with her.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for Ilima to coming on.
Yeah.
All right. So also over the weekend, Ryzen just took place.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. It feels very much like Pride.
Very much like Pride.
Where it's in Japan. It's a big show. It's that you have Crow Cop, Vanderlei, Crazy Horse Bennett. Which I don't know if you saw his fight.
I read about it.
Yeah. I'll show you the highlights for that. It's you got Vanderlei and Crazy Horse have been going at it all weekend, and now in the I think in the finals you have Mirko Crow Cop and Vanderlei Silva, and it's just Pride all over. You have Gabby Garcia on there. You had Combate's Kira Batara on there. You have
friend of ours.
Yeah, friend of ours. You have a bunch of big name fighters and up and coming fighters, and it's just a big show. I think they're getting bigger and bigger. This is their second time out. Do you think that they are the new, or potentially could be the new Pride at some point?
I think so, and I hope they are. I think Japan needs a mixed martial arts organization in Japan since the departure of Pride. And it's totally Pride, man. Like, if you watch the show, I watched some of the stream last night. They had the whole pro wrestling, big intros, and the bright lights, the ring, white, the ropes. Some of the rules were Pride-like. I think
Pride-like. Yeah, knees to down opponent.
Down opponent.
I don't think they have soccer kicks, right?
I didn't see any.
I know ONE FC has soccer kicks.
Oh yeah, I don't think No,
or at least they're getting rid of soccer kicks.
I doubt there's soccer kicks in Japan. I could be wrong. I did see Nisa down opponent though. But the whole feel, the production of the show was very Pride-like, and
the fighters that they have on board.
Yeah, I mean the Vanderlei, former Pride champion, Crow Cop, former Pride champion, and the mixing, because Pride was known to be like a pro wrestling show. Yeah, like a big old spectacle show, and Ryzen has the same kind of feel to it. I think it's good. I think Japan needs something like that. Yeah,
I think so. I think it's. I've been watching their promotions all the way up. I've been seeing all the promo photos from like the weigh-ins and the press conferences. The show is very Pride-like. It's. I think it has the potential to be the next big promotion in Japan, which I know that they haven't really had one since I think Dream. Dream was a big one for a while after Pride. Yeah, which Dream was one of my favorites. I mean, because it still had that Pride feel to it.
It was a continuation of Pride.
Yeah, pretty much. This I think is the next form of it. I mean, I know you have ONE FC in Asia and China. You have you're gonna have Ryzen in Japan, which I feel the more events that they put on, the next one that they come out with probably towards the end of the year, I think the New Year's card, I think is going to be another big event. They draw big names, they draw people from different areas that want to fight for them, and they got some of the notable names like Crazy Horse. I mean, I haven't seen Crazy Horse for forever, and I mean, that guy is always it was a pleasure. It was a joy seeing that guy compete again, and he looks exactly the same.
That's funny.
So. I think it's just, I think it has the potential to be the next Pride if they keep on going with what they have going on right now, because I know they've been trying to get a hold of Fedor for at least for the next card. I know they wanted him for this card, but I think they were going to most likely get him for the next card.
Yeah.
If the UFC doesn't pick him up.
Yeah, and also too, I think the reason why boxing isn't big as Japan is because Japan is such a big pro wrestling country.
Yeah,
and it that influence of pro wrestling shows like in their MMA shows, like the way everything about it is total pro wrestling. And I'm excited for it. I think New Japan, the pro wrestling promotion out there, is really huge. And I've read some rumors online that New Japan wants to do something with Ryzen sometime in the future. Yeah. That'd be freaking awesome.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Imagine I like that's one of my bucket lists to go to Japan and watch an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Or watch an MMA show in Japan. Or just be in Japan would be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one in Singapore. I wouldn't mind watching like a ONE FC in Singapore.
Victor, you want to see? Fly us out there, man.
Waiting on the call, man.
Remember that interview we did for you, man?
Yeah.
So waiting for that private jet.
And on that 205 card, they added Joanna Jędrzejczyk on that card, defending her title against Carolina, which is going to be awesome. I think that's a co-main event as of right now because there's still one more fight that they're looking to headline, which I believe we're going to find out sometime during the week.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. We're most likely going to cover that on the next show. Is the main event for 205 because it's not going to be Joanna Jędrzejczyk headlining that fight.
And so it won't be Woodley and Thompson?
I don't even think they confirmed for that card though.
That card too. I mean, like you see the UFC.
Is it confirmed for that card?
I'm not sure if it is. I've heard rumors that is the main event. I'm not sure though. I'm not 100%.
I would like to see Anthony Johnson and Cormier.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, if not McGregor, I think they should just give it to McGregor. Actually, honestly, I think they should just give it to McGregor and Eddie Alvarez.
No, that card needs Conor McGregor because
it's a perfect fight.
The UFC worked so hard to get MMA legalized in New York.
Yeah,
Lorenzo promised the fans that when they do make it in New York, it's gonna be a Super Bowl card, of fights. And you look at the fights now; it's like 200.
It's a good card.
Yeah.
For a regular night, but it's a regular pay-per-view, but it's not mind blowing.
No,
I think you need Conor to get it.
You need Conor.
I think in order to make it mind blowing, you need Conor against Eddie Alvarez.
Fight. I mean, Eddie Alvarez is from Philadelphia, which is not too far from New York. He has his fight team based in New York with Mark Henry and Hansel Gracie. It's perfect. New York versus Ireland.
You already know it's going to sell out like quick if
and then the Conor touches as turns to gold. So
I think the second fight after that would be the Cormier Johnson. I like that one. Third would probably be Woodley and Thompson.
But I mean, look at it. Do you imagine Conor and then the Cormier having Joanna, two European superstars? It's a no-brainer.
It's I don't know why they just won't even. I don't know. All right, so. That's pretty much all the topics for this week. Right now, we're going to get to fight picks. Cover that real quick. We got RFA 44, September 30th. Moises versus Freeman. It's a St. Charles, Missouri, and Access TV. Make sure you catch that. It's September 30th. That's going to be an awesome card. One of the very last RFA cards of ever. Right. I think by the end of the year, they're going to phase out and go to the LFA with Legacy.
Yeah.
UFC Fight Night 96. We're going to cover the main card for UFC Fight Night 96 as Dodson versus Lineker. That's October 1st, this Saturday, I believe. And it's going to be on, I believe, Fox Sports 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So, so we have Luis Smolka versus Brandon Moreno. Opening the main
card.
The main card. So who do you have for that one?
I like Luis in that fight.
Luis.
Yeah.
I like Luis too. I think I might go with Luis in that fight. Brandon, I don't know that much about Brandon, but Josh Berkman versus Zach Otto.
I want to go with Berkman based on experience alone.
I'm gonna go with Berkman too. Just based on experience alone. Yeah. Again, Zach Otto. I don't know that much about Zach Otto. I can't give a clear, prediction on that one. But Josh Berkman's always tough, very talented veteran. We'll see how that one goes. Will Brooks versus Alex Oliveira. I think it's Cowboy Oliveira, right?
Yeah. Cowboy. Will Brooks, the former Bellator lightweight champ. I'm going to go with him, Will Brooks. I think he's on a good roll. I think he's been looking pretty good. I can see him beating him and continue on his quest for the title.
I think so too. I'm going to go with Will Brooks, and I'm pulling for him. Hopefully he gets a victory in the co-main event. He barely edged out Ross Pearson. Mm-hmm. Let's see how he does against Alex Oliveira, because this is a tough fight. Right? Yeah. John Lineker against John Dodson. This is a fight that I think a lot of fans have been wanting to see. This one, Lineker against Dodson, Lineker against Demetrius. Either one, people have been wanting to see Lineker fight one of these guys. Who do you have?
Yeah, this fight's going to be a barn burner. I think the two guys that hit the hardest in that division. I really like Lineker. I like the team that he's on and the row he's on, and the fact that he hits hard, and I can see him knocking out Johnson.
You see that? Okay. I like Lineker, but I might go with Dodson, mainly because of the speed.
Yeah,
That's the only thing. Mm-hmm. Lineker's got a solid chin. He's knockout power. This guy is tough as nails. Mm-hmm. But Dodson is just a freaking fireball.
And he has a wrestling too.
With wrestling and almost equal the amount of power. Mm-hmm. Plus the speed. I got to go with Dodson.
Yeah.
I got to go with Dodson.
That's good. That's a good pick.
It's close though. I wouldn't be surprised if Lineker gets it. All right, so that was our show for this week. Thank you for Ilima for coming on. We look forward to seeing her on one of the Bellator cards that are upcoming. Hopefully on the San Jose card, but whichever one we're gonna watch. And also thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, you can subscribe to the show on YouTube. Leave a comment, like our video. You can also subscribe on iTunes and SoundCloud. Also leave a comment and rating to help the show get noticed. I want to thank Colorado Gear for the sponsorship. Go to coloradogear.com, register the site, and use the promo code COMPLEX15 to save yourself 50%. You can follow us on social media. You can follow me on Twitter, MMA Complex James. You can follow him on Twitter, MMA Complex Josh. Mm-hmm. You can follow our show, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at the MMA Complex. And also you can
go to the website.
Yeah. MMAComplex.com.
themmacomplex.com.
For all things MMA Complex. Big weekend of fights. We're going to recap all the action. So till then, enjoy the fights and enjoy your week.